When people come in to get tattoos, they have many reasons for it. They might be getting a name for a loved one, maybe in memory of for someone who's passed away. Sometimes the shop will provide designs for the customers to look at, and lots of times they'll bring in their own design. If we have to assist in, they may have a magazine, any form of art that we can use to make a stencil for them. That's how we go about that. Lots of tattoo shops have what's known as flash on the walls, and flash is designs that are drawn by other tattoo artists or people who are just in the business of drawing flash. And they can go through that, find designs. If they don't necessarily want exactly what that design sheet has on it, they can be changed around to fit that person's need. So here's the design that we come up with for Zoe. This is what we call the master copy. This master copy is placed into a stencil type paper that's then run through a machine, and you get a stencil that's got a carbon outline of this exact design. When applying a stencil, the first thing you have to do is prepare the skin, and I also call this a skin inspection. You take a little of your green soap, rub it around on the skin. If the area hasn't been shaved, you would get any hair that might be in the area off. You don't want to have any hairs sticking up where the tattoo is going to be, because if a needle pokes one of those hairs down under the skin, you could have an ingrown hair problem there, and that's not very fun. Once you've got the area shaved, take a very small amount of green soap and you rub it into the skin until it's not very shiny, but just tacky, like wet paint almost. And once you've got it that way, just kind of rub it around with your hand like that. Once you've got the area tacky, then you'll take the stencil, line it up on the area that you want it to be on, lay it gently on the skin, and then just press it from the center out until that liquid adheres the entire stencil paper to her skin. Make sure you press down on the areas where the design is, gently but firmly, so as not to rip the stencil. Once you feel that it's set long enough, normally takes just a second or two, just grab it at the top corner and peel the stencil off her leg, and you can see it leaves a purple stencil. That stencil will last for quite a while. Tattooists have gone to this form of stencil from a different form of stencil that was used years ago with acetate, because this particular type of stencil will stay on the skin for a very long time. So if you have to take a break for whatever during the outline, you don't have to worry about that stencil disappearing on you when you come back. So it's a very good idea to always use these stencils when you can. Once you've got the stencil applied to the leg, take your green soap, put a little on a paper towel, and again go from the top to the bottom and get any of the excess purple off that stencil. That way when you're doing the tattoo and you're wiping, you won't have any of this smearing going on while you're doing your outline. Once you've got your stencil applied, very important when doing the tattoo with the stencil that you start at the bottom right hand corner and work your way to the top. The reason for this being, if you started up here and started working, when you make a line and start to wipe, as you continue down, every time you wipe, you're going to be wiping away your stencil. So always start at the bottom right and work your way up using the same techniques that I showed earlier when doing your outline portion of the tattoo. Do a line, always block when you're doing the tattoo off the stencil, as opposed to doing a lot of hard wiping, because again, you're going to lose your stencil if you don't do that. Start at the bottom, work your way up, blot, and go again. Once we've got the outline completely done from bottom to top, we would come back once the outline is complete and move on with the shading and the coloring.